I just got a new package. I'm going to open it up. This will be my first unboxing video. Feels like Christmas. Okay. Just going to cut all the tape here. I kind of didn't like the way it was just flopping around in the box. If you can hear that, it's moving side to side. So hopefully everything's good in here. Okay. Get the knife out of the way. Ta-da! Okay, let's dig deeper. And there is the microphone. And here are the shipping papers. Okay. Let's get rid of that, I reckon. There's a look at the box. This is the Behringer B-1. I'll give you some specs later, and we'll plug it in and check it out. This came from Z Sounds. I paid, I think, $112 for 2-day shipping and the microphone, of course. So pretty good deal. First, we'll show you close up there of the box, a little closer maybe. Hopefully not too close. There's the side. Okay. The other side. If you want to pause it and take a close look. Here's the other side of the box. And the last. And then over here. This was a factory reseal, or a, yeah, I guess it was a factory reseal, or a store reseal. It was bought back to the store, and they resealed the box. They said it was in mint condition, so there should not be anything wrong with anything here. I guess maybe somebody just bought it and decided that it wasn't what they wanted, so they decided to bring it back to the store. Okay, so that's everything that was in there. So let's set that off to the side. And here we've got this nice case that is upside down. There we go, Behringer logo. Everything about the case looks nice. No scratches, dings. Feel the mic moving around a little bit in there. There's plastic. That's aluminum, I think. Okay, nice. It's like a little plate there, but nice hinges. Okay. It also came with the manual there. Okay, so this is, like I said, a Behringer B-1 microphone. And are you ready? Before I open this, I want you all to go down, click subscribe, and click on the bell so that you get notifications every time I release a video. Here we go. There it is, the Behringer B-1. So in the box here, it looks like you get a big giant windscreen. Big old thing. It's indented by the egg crate. We get the shock absorber, or yeah, shock mount. And looks like it does come with the thread adapters in there that we'll have to take out to put on a normal mic stand. And then we've got the Behringer B-1, and this feels good. This feels of good quality. It's sized well. It's heavy, very heavy, really. Feels like all metal construction. Features a low pass filter, or low cut high pass filter, and a a minus 10 dB pad right in the microphone there. So we'll test that out. In some product reviews I watched, one guy said something about the XLR jack being sideways compared to most mics. Said that most mics, the XLR jack, like the clip, is in line with the logo, but it don't really bother me at all. As long as it sounds good, it's good value, and it looks very professional. I like it a lot so far. Like I said, I was kind of weary of the package because it was flopping around in there, but it looks like everything survived. As long as the microphone works, should be good. Let me give you a little closer view. Hopefully you can see that. Here's the other side. Yeah, that is appealing. Okay, so I'll be back in a little while to talk about this, give you the specs of this microphone, and then I'm going to test it out and see what I think. We'll test out the pad and the high pass, and kind of just do a general sound check and see what we think it sounds like. Alright, that'll conclude this part. On to future me with the specs and test. Okay, as I stated earlier, this is the Behringer B-1 large diaphragm condenser microphone. This microphone has a 1-inch single diaphragm. It features a switchable minus 10 dB pad and a high pass filter that cuts 6 dB per octave at 75 Hertz. The frequency response of this microphone is 20 Hertz to 20 kilohertz, and it does require plus 48 volt phantom power for operation. Okay, so this is the Behringer B-1 in the neutral position, so there is no high pass filter and no 10 dB pad applied at this moment. This is the Behringer B-1 at 2 inches away. This is the Behringer B-1 at about 6 inches away. This is the Behringer B-1 at about 1 foot away. Okay, so now let's engage the low cut filter. So now the low cut filter is engaged, and this is the Behringer B-1 at about 2 inches away. Here's the Behringer 1 at about 6 inches away. Here's the Behringer B-1 at about a foot away. And now let's do the minus 10 dB pad. Okay, so this is the Behringer B-1 at about 2 inches away. Here's the Behringer B-1 at about 6 inches away. And here's the Behringer B-1 at about 1 foot away. Okay, so back in the neutral position here, I just wanted to talk a little bit. So we have a shock absorber here, so kind of tapping around on the mic. We'll see if we can hear that when we get to post, as opposed to touching the actual microphone. But the shock absorber should stop any noises if I hit my desk. We'll see. Just to get that in there, what that might sound like. There's a TV playing in the background, so we'll see if it kind of cuts that out whenever we get there. But other than that, let's talk a little more. Here is the low pass high cut filter, or high pass low cut filter. Sorry, I'll get that right. So here's this. If I was to talk a little lower here, we'll see if it cuts some of this out. This microphone, I have noticed in the normal position, has a pretty good low end response to it. So we'll see. It's pretty warm sounding microphone, so we'll see how the low pass filter does there. So I think that would be it. So we'll do the editing and see what the results of some of this other stuff is, and then we'll apply some EQ and compression and see what we can do with the sound of this microphone, and maybe record some guitar with it as well. So we'll be back. Alright, so I have the microphone about 6 inches away from the sound hole of the guitar, straight out in front, and then pointing at the 12th fret. So this is in the middle position with no high pass or 10 dB pad. So we're going to go ahead and do some strumming, and then I'll switch to picking, finger picking, and then we'll switch to high pass and the 10 dB pad. So here we go. Okay, so now we're going to switch to the low cut. And here's some strumming. Some picking. Alright, and lastly, the 10 dB pad. So here we go. Some strumming. Picking. Alright, be back with you on the computer and we'll talk about the results. Okay, so you can see that we're here in Logic, and I've cut this into sections just like I did in the video, and I've put markers above them so you can see each individual place. just like here it says normal, low cut, pad, normal, back to low cut. Same with the guitar. Sorry, the guitar is a little further away from it, so it's hard to look visually here, but up here we've got normal strumming, normal picking, and so forth, just so we can get there easily and talk about some things. So basically, if I were to skip quickly, we do hear from the normal. Okay, so now let's so that's normal to the padded version of talking. Okay, so this is the Behringer B. That is probably about 10 dB worth of difference. I also wanted to note before I talk much more, this is the raw audio. What you heard in the video was raw audio, but if you look down here, you see nothing is engaged. This is raw audio. I haven't even changed the audio or the volume either because it is right here. So you're hearing exactly what was recorded. So like I said, we do hear a pretty good difference there. Okay, so now let's... Okay, so this is the Behringer 10 dB. Now from the normal one... Okay, so now let's... this is the Behringer B-1 at... And here's low cut. So... Now the low cut filter is, and if you hear there's a lot of low end sound to this here. This is the Behringer B-1 at, especially when I breathe at the end of at there, that, in this. Behringer B-1 at about, there was none of that there, so I'm pretty impressed with that. We'll check in a minute to see if that's about 75 dB, what it's done there. Okay, so this is the Behringer B-1 at about 2 inches away. Okay, and this takes out a lot of the low end as well. So that's pretty good as far as that goes. Let's listen to some guitar. So here's normal. Here's normal low cut. Again, that took quite a bit of the low end out of that. I'm pretty impressed with the low cut filter. Let's go ahead and say normal with the pad. Okay, about 10 dB, pretty good, nice. Okay, let's do some normal picking. Okay, again, picking with a low cut. And picking with the pad. Okay, very nice. Okay, so first off, I'm going to start here like we talked about with the, in normal, there's a lot of low end, 2 inches away. This is the Behringer B-1 at about 6 inches. 2 inches. This is the Behringer B-1 at, okay, so there's that at again. I'm going to put in a EQ. Sorry about that. So we're going to put in a low cut. This is on the normal. Why do we not want to work here? Okay, there we go. And it was 75, so yeah, we'll say about there. So if we put in this EQ, this is the Behringer B-1 at, okay, that cut out quite a bit of it, so that's about 75% here. Let's see if that's comparable to the low cut on the microphone itself. So now the low cut filter is engaged, and this is the Behringer B-1 at about, okay, so that was the microphones on board low cut. Here's ours. This is the Behringer B-1 at 2. Okay, pretty good. Yeah, they are pretty accurate with their 75 dB, or sorry, 75 hertz low cut. So that's pretty good. We could test the pad. So here's the normal. This is the Behringer B-1 at 2. Okay, and let's turn that down 10 dB. 1 second. Okay, so here's 10 dB down. This is the Behringer B-1 at... Okay, and let's go back. Sorry, we're back to 0, and here's the pad. Okay, so this is the Behringer B1. Okay, very close to 10 dB. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with everything I've heard so far. Let's play a little bit with some EQs just in this talking portion before we turn on the low cut. But I would add a low cut. I do like that, but let's just give it a listen here. I just wanted to talk a little bit. So we have a shock absorber here, so kind of tapping around on the mic. We'll see if we can hear that when we get to post. So I did want to mention that. I'm glad that played. So the shock absorber did allow a lot of noise to come through, but obviously you're not going to be smacking your microphone like that. But, you know, I was just checking. Also, I did, when I hit the desk, I heard a lot of noise. So here, I just wanted to talk a little bit. So we have a shock absorber here, so kind of tapping around on the mic. We'll see if we can hear that when we get to post, as opposed to touching the actual microphone. But the shock absorber should stop any noises if I hit my desk. We'll see. Okay, so yeah, it did not, and sorry about the text there. I'm not sure what that was. I'll have to figure out how to turn that off for future videos. Anyways, so yeah, it didn't stop that. I talked about a TV, and it did in fact cut the TV noise out. There's a TV playing in the background, so we'll see if it kind of cuts that out whenever we get there. So I don't hear anything from the TV, so I think that sounds good. So let's listen a little more here and try to mess with these EQs some more. We'll see. Just to get that in there, what that might sound like. There's a TV playing in the background, so we'll see if it kind of cuts that out whenever we get there. But other than that, let's talk a little more. Here is the low pass high cut filter, or high pass low cut filter. Sorry, I'll get that right. So here's this when we get to post, as opposed to touching the actual microphone. But the shock absorber should stop any. Okay, so my overall thoughts here. I love the microphone. I like it for the price. I don't think you can beat it. I don't own very many microphones, and what I do own are pretty cheap. I do a lot of stuff on a budget. If you could see the way that I film my videos, you'd probably get a kick out of it. But you know, for my overall final thoughts, the microphone has great sound, great frequency response. From the normal sound to their low cut and their pad are both very accurate, in my opinion. I think it sounds good with guitar, so especially when you engage that low pass. Low cut, sorry. That was wrong. Where'd it go? Here it is. So when you put in that low cut, I think that guitar sounds pretty good. So overall, I'm impressed. Like I said, the build quality, the microphone is heavy. It feels durable. Comes in a nice case, which is a bonus. So I paid $112 on Z Sounds for an open box. So it was repackaged. I'm pretty pleased with what I got. So I don't think that you can beat it for the price, and I highly recommend that if you're a new studio going out and getting started, that you give it a try. So like I said before, please give me a thumbs up
And share this video if you have somebody that should see it. And please subscribe and ring the bell so that you get notifications when I post content in the future. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.